And that is it, people. It is Monday. I had to think then, the 31st of October. Happy Halloween if you celebrate that. Welcome, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are tuning in from around the world. It is great to have you live in the house if you are live. And if you're watching on catch up, hey, that's okay too. Thank you for being here. I am Brian, the UKBitcoinMaster. This is your alternative BBC, i.e. the Bullish Bitcoin channel. You will only get bullish Bitcoin conversation here. So if you're looking for any other coin bullishness, you ain't going to find it. If you're looking for TA, you're not going to find it. If you want charts, you're not going to find it. I just go live twice a week and rant because I'm excited about Bitcoin. So welcome, everyone. If you're brand new to the channel, it is really important that you read the disclaimer at the bottom because you ain't getting any financial advice here, and you should only ever, no matter what you're investing in, afford what you can realistically or what you're willing to lose. Also, go to UKBitcoinMaster.com. That is where you'll find every video I've done to date. I believe this is number 470, if I'm correct. And if you want to check out all the live interviews that I've done, go to bitcoininterviews.com. They're all over there. I think about 70 at the moment. There'll be another one this coming Thursday. Got a great guest lined up this Thursday, so you don't want to miss Thursday's live show. Let me get rid of that. Okay, very, very quickly, who have we got in the house? I think the regulars, really. Joe Rotniak is with us. Welcome to you, Joe. Proud Zionist Jew. Adam Meister's in the house. Welcome, Adam. Always great to see you. The Water's Fine, which is Dave, coming in from Phoenix. Welcome to you, Dave. John Gravitz with us from the UK Bitcoin Farmer. That is my nephew. Always good to see you. My lovely wife, Elaine, Mrs. UK, is in the house. Chaz Old has joined us. Welcome to you, Chaz. Stacking Rich is in the house. Jody, good to see you as always. Let's get on with the show. Yorkie Bitcoiner has just joined us. Great to see you, man, as well. Okay, I'm mixing the show up today, and I've got a couple of short videos we're gonna run nearer the back end of the show. We're going to cover some news headlines first. You won't want to miss the last video I show at the end of the show. It's an absolutely awesome video that I found recently. It isn't anyone speaking. This literally shows you the Bitcoin epochs until the end of it all in 2140. So I found it. I thought it was absolutely superb. And for those of you that just don't really get just how early we are in all of this, watch that video at the end because that's really going to highlight to you just how early we are to all of it. So stick around to the end. Okay, desktop. So as you can see, we're on 20,387.88. Flicking. I know we're ahead of the US, but obviously we are at the end of the month. So I watched a show recently that said that I believe if we finish the month above 20,200 or 20,300, we end the month on a green candle, which is a little bit bullish. But hey, again, no one's got a crystal ball. The reason I'm showing this is right now you'll see that as the price starts to creep up, you get less sats for your money. Now, look at those sats, 4,905 sats for $1. I want you to do me a favor. Keep in mind until the end of the show, 4,900 sats, because that's going to be a bit relevant when I run that video at the end of the show in terms of $1 gets you nearly 5,000 sats. Frosty Ashington has joined us. Welcome to you. Great to see you in the house. So stick around to the end because right now, just under 5,000 sats for $1. Okay, right. Very, very quickly. Whoops, my mouse or cursor has let me down. Hang on a second. So we're going to get into a little bit of news to start off the show. Just headlines. And then we'll go into the videos afterwards. Now, I thought I'd mix it up a little bit because I'm always covering tweets and stuff. But for those of you finding this channel for the first time, or for those of you relatively new to all of this, it might be a good idea to see what's out there that you've got to try and wade through to build a strong Bitcoin hand. Okay, there are all sorts of narratives that fly around. So let's take a look at some of them. Okay, firstly, here's the highlight that I highlighted in blue from Wall Street on Parade. Fed's Jerome Powell calls the US economy robust as personal savings rate collapses to the same level as in the financial crisis of 2008. People, you need to understand something. Politicians will always tell you everything is fine until it's not. They will hang out with everything is good until they get all their investments sorted, they get out of all their positions, and then the market tanks. And I'm not saying it's going to tank, but how can he say that the economy is robust when millions and millions of people are being displaced, can't afford their electricity bills, fuel, energy, food, everything's going through the roof, inflation's raging, they can't get it under control, and yet he says everything is okay, the economy is robust. I don't buy that for 1 minute, and if you're a critical thinker, neither should you buy it. You should always, and I say it always on my show, don't I? You must always do your own research. Don't trust, verify, and don't trust anything I put on here. Always go away and verify it. Okay, here's another doom and gloom article. Crypto.com trading volume sinks 91% 1 year after brave Matt Damon ad. Okay, look, what I like to try and get over on this channel is it is Bitcoin, not crypto. All of crypto to me is there's only one truly decentralized coin, and that is Bitcoin. Everything else, to some degree or another, is most definitely centralized and most definitely has attack vectors, weak points. So you got to draw your own conclusions. You got to make your own mind up. But there are articles like this all over the place. Here's one I saw from the Times. It says, the Bitcoin bubbles burst. Here's what to do next. The price of Bitcoin has more than halved in 2022. It's come back from blips before, but could this be the end? You know, if you are new to all of this, that could very well fudge you out of your Bitcoin. Channels like this and others that are out there, what they do is try to help you to get that don't trust, verify, don't listen to the mainstream media machine, do your own research and then draw your own conclusions, because I'm telling you, all the mainstream media, governments, politicians, banks, they've got their own narrative, their own agenda that they are working to, and you need to get that. I'm just looking at the stream health. I've got a yellow warning. Oh, Lord. Fingers crossed if it starts to buffer. My apologies. I'm hoping it won't, but I do have that warning again. If you're new to all of this, I'm in the UK. My download speed's great, but my upload speed is absolutely horrendous. 7 megabits per second upload speed. So I tend to get certain shows where it just buffers, and I hope it doesn't, but I'm giving you forewarning. SPR Hopco, absolutely superb to meet you and your good lady, sir, in Edinburgh. Absolutely brilliant that was. Yeah, so now I can put a face to the name when I see you join in the chat. And here's one I nicked from James at Invest Answers. But, you know, what's the bigger scam? Pensions or crypto? Okay, let's use crypto here because that was the headline, but I'll call it Bitcoin. Everything on blockchains is totally transparent, all verifiable. Okay, can you say that about your pension fund? If you have a UK pension or an IRA, I think you call it in the US, or a 401k, do you get to see how your pension breaks down and how it's performing? No, you don't. You hand your money over out of your paycheck each time you're paid, and they put it into a fund, and what you don't know is most of those funds are empty and they have not got the funds there to pay out pensions in the future. That's the really scary thing. So how can they call crypto or Bitcoin a scam when Bitcoin is totally verifiable? Wait to the video at the end and you'll see exactly what I mean about how many Bitcoins there are at any given time, how many Bitcoins there are ever going to be out there, and that can't be manipulated in any way. And they cannot say that for pensions. Then we get great articles like this if you think that Bitcoin's going nowhere. Bitcoin holds steady as Google, Meta lead tech stock rout after missing their Q3 targets. Bitcoin is holding up so flipping well, I can tell you, it really is. We got another one. Breaking, Visa, $1 trillion company to launch, it says Bitcoin wallet, but I'll admit it there and show you something. Oh, it won't let me get rid of it. Under here, it had crypto and everything else, and it's not letting me click on it to get rid of the white box. But I just doxed that a little bit, so it should have said breaking. Visa, $1 trillion company to launch Bitcoin and crypto wallets. But I deleted that little bit out because I'm a Bitcoiner only guy. The point is, how big is Visa? How big is MasterCard? Whether they're doing this for their own reasons or they've got some coercement from governments or they're feeling the fear of missing out or the FOMO, it does not matter. It is exposing Bitcoin more and more to the masses, and ultimately the masses, if they do their own research, they're going to draw their own conclusions. And the correct ones amongst them, the ones that wake up and do their research, are going to migrate to Bitcoin without a doubt. Here's another one. Bitcoin as a human rights platform. Look, this is from Forbes, people. Bitcoin as a human rights platform. If you're in Bitcoin for number go up, that's great. Nothing wrong with that. But the more you dig into this, the more you start, and the more you go to conferences like we did in Scotland last weekend or the weekend before, I've lost track of time now, you start to hear from human rights people. And I've got a human rights person coming on the show during November, so look out for that. And when you start to see how Bitcoin is doing so much good for third world nations around the world, you start to realize this thing really is having an impact in those countries that are, they can't get access to basic banking. Sometimes they don't have basic facilities in their villages. And this was the bit that, is a saying in the UK, warmed the cockles of my heart, made me feel good when I was listening to what Bitcoin is doing for those East African countries and the like. So, when you dig into this, it's very, very powerful. It really is. And then this one only was tweeted out today by, hang on a sec, his name, Jim from the Bitcoin Conference UK, Jim Duffy. He tweeted it out and I thought I've got to add this in. And this was from the Telegraph. Look at this. With inflation raging, Bitcoin looks more valuable than ever. Okay, the cryptocurrency has been through 4 bull and bear cycles and is finally enjoying a longer period of stability. This is from, as you can see, the Telegraph, not the Times. What exposure do people have to the Telegraph, and how many millions and millions of people are going to see articles like this? I just think that is superb. So there's a mixture of both doom and gloom articles and articles saying what's really going on out there in Bitcoin. So again, you've got to try and see the wood for the trees. The mainstream media, they do not want Bitcoin to grab hold and take over the world. Why? Because they know they can't control it and they will lose control of their monopolies. You've got to get this. So the mainstream media, the people that we don't see, these multi-hundred billionaires, etc., they influence the media. The media have to say what they want them to say for their narratives. etc., etc., etc. And you need to be aware of that. Who else did I see? Dodgy Bob has joined us. Welcome to you. Tony Darrington, welcome to you, sir. Great to see you in the house. Right, quickly, before we move over to the videos, if you want to drop me a tip, and you don't have to, okay? I don't run this show for any type of financial gain. But there are 3 lightning addresses. You can send 100 sats. It'll cost you pennies, probably 1 penny, 2 pennies, I don't know. It's pathetic if you want to. Or if you want to keep your sats, buy me a cup of coffee. There's a QR code down there. Or don't do anything, just support the show and tweet it out. I'll be really, really grateful for anything. Okay, so I wanted to mix it up a little bit, but now we're going to dig into the meat and veg of the show. Now, I'm a regular British guy that knows nothing about nothing. I've just been in Bitcoin for 6 years now. I've been on hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of podcasts. I've had many of the top Bitcoiners in the US and around the world on my show, with more to come. Watch this space. Particularly big one on the 1st of December. Oh my Lord, you won't want to miss that one. And, I need some credibility, because it's fair for you guys in the chat or watching this, on catch up. What the hell do you know? You're an ex-truck driver from the UK. So I've said this a million times before. To add credibility to the message I'm trying to get over, I use people in the world that do have influence and have created success. And this first video I'm going to run is from Cathie Wood from ARK Invest. Now, her investment fund invests in Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other stocks and equities and everything else. That's not the point. The point is she's a mega bull on Bitcoin. You've got to understand, if someone runs a fund, they've got to have a portfolio where their investors can invest in what they want to see in the fund. So, unfortunately, she can't really be a Bitcoin-only fund. Well, I guess she could. I mean, I don't understand the finance, to be honest with you. But the point I'm making is, while she talks about other coins, not the point. The point is, listen to what she says in this first excerpt about Bitcoin, how her and her team back in 2013, I believed, investigated Bitcoin, what she did about it. Have a listen, and then don't listen to me for credibility. Listen to Cathie Wood. Here we go.
As time went on and we did our research on Bitcoin, and the first paper we wrote was in 2015, I said, Art, I want you to take this paper, Can Bitcoin Serve the 3 Roles of Money? And I want you to tear it apart. Now, Art is known for his fiscal policy expertise, and he came back to us and he said, I've been looking for this ever since we went off the gold exchange standard.
And when people that are looking for a better way find it, it's like a light bulb moment for them. It is. It was for me, and it obviously was for this guy, Art.
He said, it's a rules-based monetary policy, rules-based monetary system. And I said to him, Art, how big could this be? And he said, well, how big is the U.S. monetary base? Now, Bitcoin was $250 at that time. So it was roughly a $6 billion network value or market cap. And I said, he said, how's the monetary? I said, it's $4.5 trillion. He said, there's your answer. I said, really? And I immediately, I put a lot of money, especially our analyst, Chris Berniski at the time. I don't think I've ever disclosed this before, but I put $100,000 in.
$250. Yeah. I don't know how many Bitcoin that is. Was that 400 Bitcoin?
I don't even know. And I wasn't counting at the time, and I've kept it all, because as soon as he said that, light bulb went on. There's no doubt in my mind. And, many people think that I'm too confident, in not just with Bitcoin, but all of our strategies. We face the same kind of pushback with all of our innovation strategies. This is nothing new. This feels the same. I mean, when you have conviction in something as as a necessary innovation to help solve some of the world's problems. And I've had, my background is both economics and finance. So, I feel very confident in what I'm saying. This is the first global, private, meaning no government oversight, digital, rules-based monetary system. When I'm explaining it like that, I ask everyone to listen to each of those words. Each one of them is very important. And this is one of the most profound innovations of our time.
This is one of the most profound innovations of our time. Now, I say that all the time, but now you've got a hugely successful multi-billion fund management company, ARK Invest, of which she is the CEO and I think the CFO, Chief Financial Officer, or CIO, Chief Investment Officer. I know she's when they're saying it, pay attention to what I'm saying, people, because these are the signals that we got to look for. And the thing that blows my mind is that we are in the depths of a bear market right now, and there is so much energy around in Bitcoin. There is so much innovation going on. It may seem all quiet out there on Bitcoin Twitter, etc., but the innovation that's taking place, the accumulating that is taking place by some of the bigger players in the space is absolutely flipping mind-blowing. And if you're not going to listen to me, listen to people like Cathie Wood and lots of others. I could name Bill Miller, Stan Druckenmiller, crikey, Ray Dalio, Scaramucci, although he's playing around with Ethereum as well. You've got Raoul Pal saying it, even though he's a shitcoiner too. Doesn't matter. The point is, there is so much signal right now in this bear market, and you'll hear this time and time again, where they say that the bear markets are where the building is done. It is where the learning is done. And that is what I love about bear markets. You get rid of all the crap coiners. You get rid of most of the scammers, although there's still plenty out there right now. And you get pure signal. And if you build in bear markets, you can't go wrong. You really can't. Right, Ilya Epping, good to see you back in the chat. Diamond Hand Dude, hey, nice to see you in the chat as well. What is he saying there? Another great show, more bullish every time I hear you speak. Keep up the energy. Thank you. Really difficult. If you don't type in UKBitcoinMaster, I can't always read that out, but that was jumping at me. So thank you. I really, really appreciate those kind words. Okay, I did say that I've got a little bit of a treat for you all at the end. Now, some of the seasoned Bitcoiners, you've probably already seen this. But here's the thing. We keep saying, and all the podcasters say, and all the financial whizzes say, we are so early. Yeah? And we all go, oh, we're so lucky. We're so early. I'm going to just demonstrate that to you. We're going to watch a video together that is just over 2 minutes. And I want you to just pay attention to it. Now, this video is about the Bitcoin epochs. What is an epoch? We'll call it a 4-year cycle or a 210,000 block cycle. Okay. And sometimes that can, depending on the difficulty adjustment of the 10-minute blocks, the 4 years can be slightly less than 4 years. Like we had May 2020, and it looks like it's going to be April 2024. So we'll call it a 4-year Bitcoin epoch, where you see a halving and a bull run, and then a couple of years of a bear market before we come to a halving again, and then another bull run, and the supply shock hits. That's an epoch. Okay, I'm going to demonstrate with this video how flipping early we are, because we are only in the 4th epoch. Let's have a run of the video, and if you've seen it, hey, way to go. But if you haven't, pay attention to this. This really blew my mind in terms of just how early we are. Here we go. Epoch 1, Epoch 2. Okay, so in Epoch 1, the first 4 years, there were 50 Bitcoins mined every 10 minutes. We had the halving in 2012, and that went from 50 to 25 every 10 minutes. 2016, it went from 25 to 12.5. 2020, it went from 12.5, or as you're looking at there, to, if I let the next one roll, this one coming up now, to 6.25 Bitcoins, or 625, I think it's billion sats. I can never get that figure in my head. It's so huge. But what I want you to pay attention to is we are in epoch number 4. Okay, so we're getting very close to the halving of 2024, where the 6.25 Bitcoins gets cut in half to 3.125 Bitcoins. I'm going to let this roll now, but watch these figures at the bottom and pay particular attention to the point where we start only getting so many sats every 4 years. And it's damn well mind-blowing. $1.56 Bitcoins, 0.78 Bitcoins, 0.39 Bitcoins, 0.19 Bitcoins. Now start to look at this as it goes down. Epoch number 11. Remember, this is every 4 years. Many of us, I always say on my show, we will plant trees we will not see come to fruition, i.e. what we stack and build. If we do this right, our kids, grandkids and great-grandkids will see a lot of this happening when we will not. Remember, these epochs are 4-year cycles. But look at the bottom. We've already got 99.98 of the total supply mined by epoch number 13. And it just keeps on rolling. I hope you're getting something from this like I did. Look at epoch 16, 152,587 sats in 4 years. 76,000 sats over 4 years. This is mind-blowing, people. Let's get to epoch number 20, and in a 4-year cycle, you will only see 9,536 sats mined in a 4-year epoch. Right, look at epoch 21. I mentioned at the start of the show, you get 4,900 sats right now for $1. In the future, it will take 4 years to mine 4,700 sats. That is how, by stacking those sats and building them up, your wealth will grow over time, and you can create generational wealth for your descendants for generations to come. And that's the bit that really messes with my head. It's just mind-blowing. It carries on. Look how many epochs there are before we get to the final epoch. Number 33 is the final one. Look at the year. 2109, 2111, 12, 13. This is time going on. This is how this thing is going to play out over a century. But look at this. Epoch 39 sats will be mined over a 4-year period. And finally, on Epoch 33, you are going to get 1 sat mined in 4 years. 1 sat in 4 years. Friggin' mind-blowing, people. And you know what? No matter what is going on out there, no matter what I am showing you with the news, that is all noise. TikTok next block. Bitcoin mines every 10 minutes or so, 9, 11, whatever, with the adjustment. Literally TikTok next block, and every block you've got more Bitcoins mined. I just find this absolutely mind-blowing. Johnny Midas has joined us. Johnny, you need to go back and watch this video, this short one from the start. It's 2 minutes. Absolutely mind-blowing when you look at the sats being mined every epoch or 5 years. Mind-blowing. Let me roll this thing out completely. I just, look at that. See all that? Now, let me tell you something. That is the Bitcoin blockchain that is totally and utterly transparent. There is nothing to hide there. There's never been anything like this in money in the history of man, and we are witnessing it play out, and we're on epoch 4 right now. This is just, if you're younger than me, how many epochs can you go through until maybe it's time for you to drop off this mortal coil? I'm hoping maybe I might see another 4 or 5 of them, God willing. But if you are 20 years younger than me, you are going to see just so many epochs, people. It's just flipping mind-blowing. Anyway, listen, I'm almost getting evangelical there. I don't mean to be. It's just that when I saw this video, it absolutely, totally and utterly blew my mind. I just haven't been able to get it out of my head that we are only in epoch 4 out of 33 of them. That's how early we are. Here's my quote. I love quotes. Dream it, believe it, and then build it. Okay, now, you might not have dreamt about Bitcoin, but if you believe it, you, like me and everyone else, can play our part in helping the global adoption. I always say that if I orange peel one more person, it doesn't make a big deal. But if 1 million of us orange pill one person, now we've got a big deal. And I want more and more regular plebs like you and I to get our Bitcoin in place, our stash in place, and front run banks, nation states, because as they pile in, whatever you hold, they drive the price up. The banks and nation states are what will drive your generational wealth up. But you've got to front run them. So we need to get loads and loads of regular people finding Bitcoin. And the best thing you can ever do is say to somebody, do you know about Bitcoin? And when they say no, just explain to them that it's money that you can send across the internet instantly. Get them to download the Moon wallet. Then send them 100 sats, 5p, whatever it is, and their jaw will drop. There are so many Bitcoiners in the UK right now that are orange pilling anyone that will listen and sending them a few Satoshis on a Moon wallet. It is mind-blowing. So that is it. That is today's show, people. I hope you got something from it. I mixed it up a little bit. On Thursday, I'm back with a live guest. I know this one's different. We've had a clock change in the UK. We've rolled back an hour. So you guys in the US are thinking, whoa, this is out. What's going on? But you'll catch us up. Next week, I think we're all back to normal. It is 6 p.m. London. I believe it will be 1 p.m. Eastern time and 10 a.m. on the west coast of the US. So I hope you got something from it. Strong Bitcoin hand. I feel really bullish today. I love that epoch. I can't stop watching it. I hope some of you did too. Share this video. Tweet it out. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. Then hit the bell button next to it and click all, and you'll be notified when I go live. And that is and has been for 4 years now. Every Monday and every Thursday at 6 p.m. UK London time, and it doesn't change. So thank you all for being in the house. Do not miss Thursdays. It's going to be a corker. See you all then. Have a great week. Have a great Halloween if you celebrate that sort of rubbish. I don't. But have a great time if you're going to go out tricking and treating. I chill out, glass of wine, do some video editing, get it up on Rumble and BitChute and all the other platforms it goes out on, which will come up now on my social media links. Have a great one. Catch you all.